My main objective is to make you think and see through the perspective of my eyes. Some may agree, some may disagree. Either way, it's my story. Now, with that being said, in the beginning of the year, I made videos predicting everything that was going to happen right now. One of my videos that I made, which is on my Raw and Uncut page, is New York is about to become Gotham City. Boy, do I wish I was wrong. I had to go to court because I had a summons. And during that time when I went to court for the summons that I had behind my dogs or whatever the case may be, because I was being swatted and somebody said I was fighting dogs, and it just so happened that I didn't renew my dog license, so I had to go to court. So nevertheless, now I'm sitting in the court during that time in the beginning of the year. Matter of fact, I think before the year even came in, and the court officer was basically talking to the people in the court saying how as of January 1st, there was not going to be any more pretty much bail for a lot of people. They was going to let the criminals go on R&R, no matter what the crime was, unless it was like maybe a real serious murder. And depending on that, you can be let go on R&R. And I said to myself, wow, something big is getting ready to happen. Never in a million years would the slave master let the slaves go unless there was a main objective. So I started predicting a lot of things that was going to happen based off of things that I used to study and being 2 years ago. Now, moving right along up to date, Cuomo and Trump is going back and forth. Donald Trump basically told Cuomo and the rest of these other cities where black on black crime is going crazy. Cuomo basically said, Trump basically said to Cuomo, I am going to defund and cut y'all money. No more federal money. I'm going to defund the police. I said, whoa. Now the funny part about it is the Black Lives Matter movement been pushing for the police to be defunded. Now Trump is sitting up there saying, I'm going to defund them. Whoa. Problem is that Black Lives Matter is not going to step up to the plate to stop the crime, the head tapping, the head busting going on in the hood, as we already can see. So Cuomo replies back to Trump, if you defund New York City, you're going to need an army if you ever come back to New York. Think about it. Do you understand what's going on right in front of your face? I've been predicting this. And now you see civil war. That we on the brink of civil war right in front of our faces. Right in front of your faces. I have never in my life seen the president arguing with a governor. Cuomo told Trump, if you defund New York, the next time you come back, you're going to need more than Secret Service. You're going to need an army to come back to New York. Everybody should be paying attention to that. That was deep. And it's scary. I've been paying attention to social media. I've been paying attention to the real world. And I told y'all, we are also on the brink of a racial war that's being egged on by Antifa. And we can't sit back and act like you don't have white supremacy that still exists, where they sit down at the table and teach their kids to hate your children. It still exists. It didn't go anywhere. So now we on the brink of a civil war, and then we on the brink of a racial war. Do you understand what's going on in front of your face? Are you paying attention? Or are you busy on Instagram posting selfies? We are on a verge of a food shortage. That bombing that happened in Lebanon, that was the food port deliberately being destroyed. By who? Inquiring minds want to know. We are living in a day and times where we are under the threat of earthquakes. There's minor tremors everywhere. We are living in a day and a time where the wilderness, the forest that helps you to breathe, the trees in the forest are the lungs that's in your body to help you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. Do you understand what's going on in the world? You are seeing weather wars dead directly in front of your face, where you have officials that's pushing a button and turning on harp, and you see tornadoes, hurricanes like you ain't never seen, flooding where the crops is at, where you get your food from. Tornadoes ripping, mysteriously just picking on black farmland and black houses all over the world. I mean, all over America. Mysteriously, it's like Mother Nature just don't like us and our land. Sarcasm. It's time for us to get it together, people. Time ain't on our side. I'm seeing people go into the hospital, and this is a whole nother topic that I'm going to get on. Going to the hospital, and they're not making it out. I'm seeing a lot of people go to the hospital, and they're not making it out. We are living in the last days of America. Where we came from, if we don't take a stand now and show that we not having it, we at a point of no return. There is no going back. The things that you don't do right now, the voice that you don't use right now, our negligence will be the reason why our grandchildren, our children and our grandchildren and great-grandchildren will never know the freedoms that we had. I sat back and I watched and I analyzed before this pandemic happened, this COVID came about. America was, well, we was America. And before this pandemic came, damn near every country was rising up against their government. So after the COVID comes, the George Floyd incident sparked all of this. And now I'm seeing riots happen all over America. I live in America, and I couldn't even explain to you why so many people, especially the white people, are protesting and rioting. I'm like, it started off with a black George Floyd. Started from the bottom, now we're here. It started off with George Floyd. And it's understandable that you would see a staged death, sarcasm, and it would ignite the civil unrest that was all around the world. Do you not see what's going on in front of your lying eyes? That you are being led into a burning building deliberately, and your emotions is being poked. It's like somebody instigating. You see a bully, like two dudes together. One dude is in the other dude's ear, and he's sitting up there. Yeah, he said he could beat you up. What you got to say about you're being led, you're being instigated all over America. People are rioting, setting places on fire. Question is, what are you fighting for? All of these protests that's going on, the gun violence that's going on in Black America. We break this down to you, right? Before it was the Sandy Hook shootings and all the rest of these different school shootings that was going on in white America. That was the start. Now the black on black crime, where the crime rate in New York is up 180%. The things that's going on right now, the defunding of the police is going to make Black America 10 times worse. And at some point in time, the National Guard is going to end up coming in. At some point in time, it's going to be a death that's going to happen in America due to black on black crime. Maybe an innocent child getting murdered. And from that, it's going to lead to the government confiscating guns. And when the guns are confiscated in America and they start confiscating them guns, it's going to lead to the civil unrest and the civil war and the racial war and the tension between blacks and whites, because white people love their guns and they do not want to lose their guns based off of what black people not knowing how to act is how they're going to feel. The stage is being set. The ink has dried. The pen has lifted. This story was written. It was preordained, pre-ordered, pre-cooked for you. We just blindly following what the puppet master want us to do. And we're not paying attention to what's really, really going on. We are being led into a burning house. I want y'all to really, really think about this. These activists that's running around, activating these riots all over the place, they don't represent the black community. They don't represent us. They don't stand for me. You see some of these Black Lives Matter dudes sitting up there arguing back and forth about Tekashi 6ix9ine, but they won't use their voice to stop the shootings in the hood. You see black activists from Black Lives Matter sitting up there with a stop snitching policy. If you're an activist, you're supposed to abide by the law and want the police to lock up the criminals, not abide by the code of silence. If black lives really matter, you can't stand by a code of silence. It's hypocrisy. It's not integrity. Don't let them fool you. Oh, no. I ain't fooled, son. I ain't fooled. For those of y'all that subscribe to this page, make sure you hit the bell with a notification. I will be uploading videos to my Patreon today. I will be loading. Every time you see a video on this Hassan Campbell page, I will be uploading another video on my Raw and Uncut page. I will have merit videos on different topics relating to these topics on real stuff that I mean pretty much topics that I like, that you like. That's why we're here together, right? So make sure you subscribe to my Real Topics page and let me know in the comment section what time y'all think today I should go live on Real Topics with Hassan. That's my page that I go live on. Raw and Uncut is my backup page. I will be putting videos up on my backup page. Let me know what you think. Shout out to my Patreon. If you're not subscribed to my Patreon, which is in the description box, you need to be subscribed there, because there's topics that I can't talk about on regular YouTube that I can talk about on my Patreon that y'all need to hear, y'all need to know. So make sure y'all get in tune with my Patreon. Anyway, like I said, man, let me know what time y'all think I should go live on this topic. Pay attention to what's going on in the world, man. Don't get distracted. Pay attention to what's going on. We are on a break of civil war, racial war in America, food shortage in America. Wake up.